there, it's Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astro-Numerologist. Welcome to Star Codes. This is the podcast where we look at an upcoming event in the stars and numbers to help us navigate the energies in the most effortless and joyful way possible. In this case, we're going to look at August's 14 universal month number. So it's actually a month-long forecast for that number and some astrology that's coming up this week that resonates to the number for August. Now, August in 2022 adds up to a 14 universal month. And 14 is such a fun number. I actually call it the media number, but it covers a lot more than media. It truly is communicating your message, connecting with others, having fun as a result of that connection, and literally seeing life as a grand adventure, as a series of opportunities to explore. And so 14 really brings out that part of you that wants to be connected to others in some way. And that can be through, of course, being online and, writing or connecting through social media, but it's really connecting in any way possible that uses the medium of words or sound. So we're in this 14 universal month, which the ancients described as the scribe. So there's a lot of info, data, wisdom that comes through in the way we communicate. Basically, it is the number of the messenger. And 14 reduces to 5, which is the number of freedom. So there is a lot of independence and a look at feeling, for example, in your relationships, to have interdependence as opposed to codependence. That's a big theme this month, as well as just in general, anything that symbolizes freedom or a pivot point or a shift, a change, a new era, quick decisions. All of that is covered by this number. So on August 14th, we have a double 14 code activated, which really heightens the flow, the movement, and what creates an even more special connection to this code is that the whole date adds up to 19, which is the Prince of Heaven number, and 19 reduces to 10, instant manifestation, love and light, and 1, which is new beginnings. And the numbers 1 and 5, 14 reduces to 5, 19 to 1, are both in the mind triad, which is the more fast-moving movement triad. So we've got a lot of energy here. You can make a lot of quick decisions today, and basically your mind is on fire, your inspiration is flowing. And to top it all off, we have 2 astrology meetups, 2 connections in the stars that help to integrate but also deepen this wonderful experience of August as a whole, the 14 universal month number, and then this double 14 activation. And on the 14th, we have the Sun opposite Saturn and Mars trine to Pluto. Now, the Sun is currently in Leo, and Leo is ruled by the Sun. So there's a double Sun activation when the Sun is in this Sun sign, in its own sign. So when the Sun is opposite Saturn, which is very much about taking responsibility, you are looking at focusing only on what arises from within, your inner sun, as opposed to relying on feedback of the external, feedback of others that comes from an external source. And so we're going to go into this a little bit more deeply in a sec. But first, it is all about the persistence and the determination to feel your way through the shifts that are ongoing, and then really sensing what you need to achieve whatever your intention, your goal is. So that may mean taking a break from some responsibilities and taking a time out to bring yourself energetically into balance, because the opposition is always about bringing the two opposite sides, Sun and Saturn in this case, into a semblance of harmony and balance. Now, Mars trine Pluto really fires us up. There is a lot of goal-directed energy, power, leadership, magnetism, sexuality. These are the two co-rulers of Scorpio, which rules the 8th house in astrology, which is very connected to how you feel as a sensual being. And Pluto is very much about power and assertion and empowering through change, and Mars just in general is assertive and go for it and fires you up, very passionate. So with the Sun also activated and Mars, these are the two energy sources that we have. There's going to be this 14 energy merged with the fire and the luminescence of the Sun and Mars, and everything is heightened energetically. Your sexuality, your drive, your inner attraction, your magnetism. You have a great impact on others as well, because adding the Pluto dynamic, this beautiful trine of Mars and Pluto, is very, very powerful. It only happens twice every 2 years as Mars goes through the signs, and Mars has a 2-year cycle. So there is a really important opportunity for you to uncover things that need to be seen through Pluto, setting the record straight. The truth shall set you free, in other words, and then moving forward with a lot of joie de vivre. Now, to top it all off, 2 days later, on the 16th of August, we have Mercury trine to Uranus, and this also activates the 14 code for August, because Mercury and Uranus are the communication planets. Mercury rules the lower mind, the practical mind, Uranus the higher mind, the mind of invention and inspiration. And so this gives you incredible powers of observation when these come into a trine. And because 14 reduces to 5, you'll feel a pivot point in your life. And so sometimes what happens is we are afraid of being so free that life is limitless, that there is a limitless potential in our life. And that's okay to be afraid of that. Really what it is you want to always reset that inner foundation of energy to trust and to hope and to be joyful. And you do this over and over again. And in August, you have that opportunity. You literally are in that heart-centered space where you realize, I don't need to run those programs of limitation and lack. And I can literally move away from those fear programs. Remember that 5, the root number of 14, is to be fearless. Pluto and Mars are fearless planets. So their connection, their trine in the middle of August is literally helping us to set up this energy to really feel connected. So notice that when you're afraid and you're running some kind of fear program, whether it's conscious or unconscious, you're generally thinking about something that happened in the past and you're projecting it into the future. So you're not going to be very inspired to create, but you're going to more want to control and manipulate events so that future moments go your way, feel a certain way. So just be aware of every aspect in your life, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you express yourself, because it needs to arise from here. In order for you to have fun and feel that inner joy, it needs to arise from here. Otherwise, it's actually controlled from an external source, whatever that source is. So as we move now through this incredible shift on planet Earth, this sector of space that's facilitating the shift on our planet, in our solar system, we can create amazing change within us because we have the universal support. We have the support of the cosmos, of the divine, of source. And it is amplifying the energy that we are projecting. So when you're in the flow, you feel compelled to share your message, right? We're in a month now where that's becoming super clear. When we're in the flow, we feel compelled to share a message, be a messenger, to share our music, to share our heart. And our heart will want to do anything to express itself because that's what it's designed to do, to share, right? Share with others. So if you're imagining being enough, not lacking anything, not feeling limited, not being separated. Set that new inner foundation. Just keep setting it, keep resetting it. Keep trusting, keep being full of hope, keep feeling joyful, because this is going to create a different future for you. All the moments that are lining up for you are dependent on that inner recalibration of joy. So just imagine what those energies would feel like if you're not feeling them right now. That's really the key. So if you say, I am abundant, there may be that inner critic saying, well, actually, you're not feeling that way. You're just saying it. So if you say, I am something that you're not necessarily feeling, it can really go sideways and fall flat. So instead, say, I wonder what it would feel like to be abundant, or I wonder what it would feel like to feel completely free to explore my life, or I wonder what it would feel like to feel joyful, to feel happy, right? So you start expressing and feeling that energy and the thoughts that go with it by saying, I wonder what it would feel like, because you're literally stirring that beautiful energy, that recipe that you're making, and wondering what it would feel like to put in this ingredient and that ingredient. So you're already tasting it. You're creating a actual event in yourself that is aligned with that frequency of joy, of abundance, of love, of peace, of compassion, of freedom. So here's an opportunity then to experience that energy in the physical. And so you want to have fun. And also remember, you may think that it requires an external situation in order for you to feel some way internally. But that external circumstance is first generated by you here. So it's generated by the frequencies that you're focusing on, which is your internal landscape. So what you're emanating arises here first. So if you have a situation that shows up and you think, oh, that didn't make me feel so good engaging in this situation, I'm not deserving, obviously, I'm not lovable. Well, there was already a seed, a thought that you had first that called in that situation. And so you created a vibrational match to the situation. And so it just mirrors what you are unconsciously and consciously thinking about. So if you want to be happy, you don't have to wait then for something outside of you to come along and nudge you a certain way. You just say, I wonder what it feels like to be happy now. You feel happy now. I wonder what it feels like to be worthy now. You feel worthy now. You feel deserving now. You feel confident now. You feel ready now. And then the external will help you reinforce that, because that's the actual feeling that you're aligning with. But it's always first something that comes from the inside. And then you'll be able to take actions that allow you to feel that fun and happiness and joy and flexibility and freedom within you. So as you align yourself with that energy, you will not focus on what's missing in your life, because then you'll experience more of that lack. You will focus on being unlimited. And that's what the 5 and the 14 really represent, is that wonderful sense of totally eternal, ever expanding opportunities. So see the value of everything that happens in your life. See the value of everything you create, because it is coming from you first. And everything that you experience is basically showing you how you express yourself or how you're suppressing something. And then you just want to look at it without judgment, whatever it is, right? If it is something you have suppressed and it was unconscious, you just look at it, you deal with it, and you create a new frequency. So if you see that everything shows you how you are either expressing joy or suppressing joy, to use one example, right? If everything is showing you how you're expressing joy or suppressing joy, then you are totally in touch, because your divine light is dependent on what it is that you're aware of, right? Working with the divine within you is a conscious message that's coming at you, that's there constantly appearing in your life. And the more you pay attention to that message, the more you see the value of everything that you create for yourself. So check in with yourself and ask yourself what you need on this day. What do you need to know? Maybe you've been holding an old belief and it's not how you feel about yourself now, or you didn't know that something was lingering in the back of your mind that was from who knows how many years ago, or even decades ago, and it comes up, or it came up recently, and it's time to shift that energy. All of this is important because you can let that all go. You just have to accept it as a valid experience at the time that it happened, a frequency that you needed to immerse yourself in, and now you can choose something else because the growth has completed itself. So allow yourself to be where you are now in this moment. The shift happens now. It doesn't happen from looking into the past for answers. And life becomes so much easier when you take those risks and you say goodbye and always experience that fresh new moment the way it was meant to be experienced. So I wish you an incredible August. And if you want to explore more of your star code to see if you have the freedom number 5 or the number 19 or 10 or 1 or any of the numbers, to see what your destiny number is, your life purpose. They're based on your birthday, they're based on your birth certificate name, and you have them in your astrology chart as well. Enjoy the free masterclass at starcodeclass.com, where we dive into your code, your destiny, your birth code, and you can discover other people's as well, so you have that deep compassion for them. So enjoy that free masterclass at starcodeclass.com, and I will see you in next week's Star Codes podcast. Lots of love.